Well, it outed itself right then, but hold up. All right. Okay, are we back? Are we live?
I think we're good. Yeah, you're up.
All right, chat's saying he's back. All right, sorry about that, chat. Something happened with OBS. I apologize. But to answer your question earlier, Gutter, what is he back? Eldius is invisible though. Oh dear. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not displaying. I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like anytime it drops out, like it's gonna stop your music. It's gonna stop Discord audio. You got to make sure that everything's synced up and the Fugi and everything.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, so hold up. You know what? I'm probably gonna lose this one anyway, so just take your turn, and I'm just gonna figure this out.
No. Okay.
No. I meant to go to end phase, not surrender.
It's fine. It's fine. My hand was actually kind of a banger, so I think I actually was gonna win that game.
Yeah. All right.
Room screen.
Am I back? All right, hold on 1 second, chat. We're gonna really quick just like figure stuff out. All right. Eldius is on screen.
Yippee! I exist.
He exists. He's here. He's in the moment. I have no idea what happened. I'm sorry, chat. That was strange. Yeah, it's all right. Okay. Eldius is in the corner. Let me bring him up a bit. So, shall we show the decks off then?
Well, I showcased my Madolche build, but yeah. Oh, you want to do like the go back to decks and like show what we had, kind of deal?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, usually when we're done with like a couple of duels, like we like to go back. I like to go back and talk about like each of the specific decks. I guess I'll go first. I'll share my screen with you real quick so you can get the up close and personal experience. Don't mind the disorganization of the decks here. So, this was the Infernity build that I was running almost card for card. The 2014 World Championship build. I originally had this teched out for Duelist for the Duelist Alliance formats that we did with Wisty and Golden Nova, but of course I took out Castiel and stuff like that. So if there's some deck building choices that seem suspect, it's because I was specifically building with Burning Abyss, Shadows, and Satellar Knight in mind.
Gotcha.
So fairly straightforward build for the time. Like Infernity's not a hard deck to build. Like there's really not much deviation in the builds, but it's usually you have to map out the combos if you're not familiar with the deck. So yeah. Any thoughts or anything like that?
No, I mean this build is pretty straightforward. I've seen and played against this exact build before for the most part, so it's good.
There's a reason why 2014 is like the year of Infernity. All right, this is the Madolche deck that I was running. I didn't get the chance to show off the Warwolf. Warwolf's the main, so for those that are not familiar with the usual Madolche combo, when you're going second, ideally you would open Muleflea and Angeli. You normal summon Muleflea, you special summon Angeli. Angeli gets you into Hoot Cake. You banish Angeli from graveyard with Hoot Cake's effect to get Mess and Gelato in order to get either Ticket or Chateau in hand, whichever ones that you don't have. From there, you overlay your level 3s into either MX Saber Invoker in order to get another Mess and Gelato from the deck, or Levier the Sea Dragon in order to get your banished Angeli and then go into your other stuff. The reason why I love running Werewolf in here is just in case I don't get into Mew Mew. It allows me another level 3 to bring out whenever I would special summon something like with Angeli's effect, and that's the same reason why I'm running Summoner Monk, because Madolche's fine. It's a great deck, but I feel like unless you start getting tempo as soon as possible, you will get blown out by so many other decks in the format.
Yeah, I think, like, in terms of like hindsight, like building double summon is correct for hat format for Madolche, because like you just get your combo out like that much faster, even if it is like a neg 1 and a potential brick. Like if you have 2 4s, you immediately have Tiara. So like, I don't disagree with that. I'm probably going to change my build to reflect that observation. Although I still stand by, I think Trap Stun is just empirically better in terms of value, but it depends on the matchup.
Yeah, it's the reason why I have Trap Stun in the side deck. Because I don't feel comfortable having Imperial Order, not Imperial Order, what am I saying? Royal Decree, just because Madolche,
It gets popped.
You do need the back row. You need the back row in Madolche.
Yeah, it gets easily popped. You need the back row because, like, otherwise you're just kind of a sitting duck for most matchups. No, I totally get that.
Yeah. And so here's the hat build.
Yep, that's a hat deck. Scythe really isn't necessary for this format.
I don't know. I just threw Scythe in there just in case on the off chance one of us was building like a random balls to the walls combo thing, constantly going into the extra deck. So I figured maybe, but in the end, Morale Tech is just the better artifact, which is insane to think about.
Yeah, because like the tempo was so much slower back then. Like Max C doesn't really provide a lot of value, which is why most people just cited it back then. Even if it is still an oppressive card that effectively forced me to skip turn, you can skip turn and not die guaranteed next turn. So it's like, okay, sure. Build solid. Like I don't really have any complaints about it.
Yeah.
Like the ratios are all pretty decent. Yeah, you have like the 2 Dynea, the 3 Searcher.
Mermelio.
Yeah, the 3 Mermelio, and yeah, no, it's pretty straightforward.
I'm sad I was never able to go into Durandal. I love Durandal.
I was surprised they didn't go to Durandal either. That's like one of the first plays you do. But then again, I wasn't so like high up an advantage where it would like be beneficial.
Yeah, and I had to do quick math, and I'm like, oh wait, that's exact lethal with Volcasaurus.
Yeah, Volcasaurus is funny. I'm not mad about that. That was funny. Like you never get to see Volcasaurus like pop out and actually game somebody. So that was actually nice to see.
So funny thing. Last time we did Time Wizards, when we were playing Duelist Alliance format with Golden Nova, we used Burning Abyss to go into Granosaurus and then rank up Magic Astral Force to go into Volcasaurus.
Oh my god, that's fiendish. I love it.
And then immediately afterward, rank up into Gaia Charger so we can be able to attack.
Bruh.
So this was Harpies. I was at a crossroads about whether or not I wanted to play a straightforward rank 4 like toolbox or include a copy each of Harpy's Pet Dragon and Tempest the Dragon Ruler of Storms, because those are 2 very different builds.
I think this is the better build, but I do feel conflicted about running both like dualities and soul charges. I wouldn't personally run more than 1 soul charge in a build like this.
Because you already have access to like Hysteric Party and things of that nature.
Yeah, like it's kind of just win more, and I'd run like another Harpy card or something to like further advance like game state than that.
So the build that I got this from, so the hat format community, someone actually in one of their more recent events, they made it to top 8 with this build. So I
can believe it.
I was like, I'm intrigued. I was a bit iffy on the ratios, but I was like, I'm gonna let things play out and see what happens. In hindsight, what I would honestly do, I think I would honestly put in like the Icarus attacks in main and add in more Harpy cards just for more removal options. That's maybe the only thing that I can really think of off the top of my head. And also I cited in debunks, which never came up. It never came to me.
I cited those in while playing Madolche, by the way.
Understandable. Absolutely understandable. And of course, Lightning Kidori and Ice Beast Zerofine are like two absolutely insane cards in this deck.
Yeah, Chidori is absolutely bonkers. Zerofine is always feels bad when it resolves.
And here is Dark World. I was gonna be playing a much more like a subdued version, but then I saw what people were doing with this format, and I was like advanced draw, and I saw how balls to the walls people went, and I'm like, I have to bring at least one balls to the walls combo thing for this. And then we have
I'm not gonna lie, like, I think you've convinced me to make my 4th Edison deck, instead of being Hieratic Ruler, just be Dark World because of how this deck performed.
for Hat. Oh yeah, and the thing is, with Hat specifically, Dark World is insanely cheap.
Oh yeah,
It
for
is
Hat, sorry.
insanely...
Yeah, it is very, very cheap. It's a lot cheaper than Hieratic Ruler.
Yeah. And I had the Contact Seas in extra deck, which never came in. You don't even really need Max C for this deck.
No, you really don't.
I was having immense trouble trying to figure out a side deck. I put in the deck div in game 2, swapping out the skill drain just because, like, at the end of the day, like, the virus cards work with Grapha so well. And then you have Giant Trainer. I was playing the Sylvan Rank 8. But before going into Felgrand, I was thinking, maybe I want to do this. No, I have to be smart. I have to be smart. All right. All right, let's get Eldius's screen share up on screen.
Wow.
Alrighty. Oh, are you sharing screens?
I believe I am. Yeah, I'm streaming.
Why is it not showing on my screen? What is happening with my technology today? What the heck? All right, hold on. I'm gonna exit call really quick and then re-enter, and hopefully that'll fix it.
Okay.
Okay, there we go. For some reason, it was not showing your screen. Let me let's pop this out. Let's hang on, chat. We're gonna do some finagling. Yeah, da 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 da. All right, here we go. So, which one are we looking at first?
Well, going in order, the Lightsworn Ruler build.
I am a little bit sad that we weren't able to see this pop out more, but good God, what a deck.
Yeah, so this is more in line with like what people were running for the National that year, not what I was running. I was on a pure build that was really teched out. I didn't lose against this matchup or most others. But like I built this IRL just because it's kind of like it's more reflective of the format itself.
Very much so.
What I would change personally is I would probably cut the Phoenix Wing and Soul Charge, to be honest. I'd cut those and run Reincarnations, just because like just getting the JD back instantly closes out game.
I do agree. Like, if you're going to be playing a deck that's all gas, just commit to all gas. And
Like,
formats like Hat are very just... Like, the early formats like this are, like, you can run all gas and not be punished as much. Just because, like, the only hand traps that we have are Maxi, Effect Veiler, and DD Crow. And while they are absolutely devastating, it's not like we have the Ghost Girls, right?
right. And the reason I'm running Troopers and not Curry Bandits is because Veiler is very, very much played in this format. So even if they hit me with the Veiler, milling is still cost.
Yeah. And honestly, I think that's actually really good. And it's also material for Redox.
Yeah. And it's material for Redox, which is nice.
Yeah. Like, Redox is, like, legitimately my favorite Dragon Ruler. Like, I originally, when I was building my Madolche deck, I originally had a copy of Redox in there just to see if I could fuck around with it, but I ended up cutting it because I'm like, no, it's not synergizing the way I hoped.
These things happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like the extra is pretty straightforward. Side's pretty straightforward. Like Decree just makes more sense with this deck, although you see a lot more value in certain matchups with Trap Stun. Because like you just, if you're going first, you do this, you kind of shut Hat out for a turn, and if you already have your JD set up, you're golden. You're absolutely golden.
True. But I guess against certain matchups, like if you were playing against Bujin, for example, that do tend to sometimes utilize the continuous floodgate trap cards.
Yeah. Like Rivalry goes and etc. Yeah.
Honestly, I've been taking a look at like modern Bujin builds. A lot of people have been like getting off like the floodgate version of the deck. Many people aren't even playing the Kaiser Coliseum build anymore.
Frankly, good. That version of the deck is boring.
It's strong, but I'm like, damn, yeah. I did not enjoy playing that matchup back in the day. Oh, Crimson
No.
Blader, my beloved.
Okay, and then next up was Spellbooks. This is kind of close to what I was playing at the time. I was being a cheeky fucker and playing Star Halls.
Star
yeah.
Hall's so good.
Yeah, Star Hall, like, imagine people not being able to out, like, a 3,400 attack Kaiku or Jougan.
Yeah. Oh, it's so nice. It's so nice to see Kaiku.
Yeah, I played around with the world back then, but, like, the issue that came up in our game is precisely what I didn't play that much. Because, like, you draw the world, if you don't have the discard outlet, it's just kind of, like, dead there.
Yeah. There's
like,
too much investment for it.
Yeah, it has to specifically come out through Spellbook of Life.
Yeah.
So you special it from, you know, deck with like Temperance, right? So it's just like
right. But overall, like, really solid. Like, I've said it again and again, like, spellbooks are the most consistent, like, search engine that exists in all of Xyz's era. Like,
yeah,
hands
by far.
down. Like, not the most explosive, but the most consistent. Because I still think that strategies like Inzektor, Wind Up, and other stuff are more explosive with, like, their search power, but spellbook is just the most consistent. It's
yeah,
most robust.
Most people are on 1 power. I liked 2, just because just having that additional name in hand always came up. Duality is just kind of like yeah, I could run Upstart, but that makes going for game a lot harder. So that's why I went for Duality here.
Yeah.
Even though it conflicts with Triple Priestess. The way I saw it was like I summoned Priestess, I set it, you know, I summon like Blue Boy or use Justice effect, and then like set cards and then like do the thing to set up for the following turn, because like you're not realistically dying in 1 turn in hat format.
Yeah, that's true.
So sideboard.
I will say though, the entire Triple Priestess play might just be one of the funniest ways that I have ever died. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. Yeah, no, that was a Bellatrix hand of old time, and it paid off. Yeah, no, this main deck is pretty straightforward for the most part, other than like running the dualities and 2 powers. Everything else is pretty standard fare. Extra deck, pretty standard fare. Side deck, honestly, the Temperances and the World could be literally anything else. Chain Disappearance, I didn't play it against a matchup where it would have been impactful, but this card clutches so many different matches.
Which one specifically? Because I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, like, what Chain Disappearance, like, impacted back in the day.
Geargia.
Oh, God, yeah, that's right.
For
For those that are not aware, current understanding in hat format, the top tier decks are Hat, Mermail, and Geargia. To the understanding of most people. And honestly, I kind of understand when it comes to Geargia. That deck, ooh, wow.
Spellbooks could not really deal with them well. Okay, moving on from books. Next up was Sylvans. This isn't the build that I ran back in the day. As I said, I was on this really cheeky, like, Quasar Synchro Sylvan build. This is, I was tripping up
so
because,
badly.
like, I didn't do the lines like you should be doing for the Exceed build in this, and that's on me. Builds pretty much what you'd see if you did like a Google search, go to hat format, and then like looked at like list. This is like a composite of different lists.
Yeah.
Like you're going into your Felgrands, your Aurea, your like one I'll say sometimes. Like this comes up all the time. This comes up some of the time. I've never gone into Gimmick Puppet. I've definitely gone into Black Rose. I've gone into Scrap Dragon. I haven't really gone into the others. I did go into Spark, but I was misplaying, so it's like, okay, cool.
Yeah,
Vanities, I feel like, is just kind of underwhelming.
Yeah. So my question about this, now that like time has passed, how do you feel that Sylvan is like with modern understanding in hat format?
I think Sylvan is worse now with our current understanding than it was then. It's still fun and can still pull games, but I think compared to other decks in the format, I honestly think Dark World's better.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna be real, as a swarming deck that like sets up like Exceed plays, I think Dark World's more efficient.
Yeah, I kind of agree on that, and that's kind of like the crazy understanding that like anybody that plays like any retro format from like 2012 to 2014 is like Dark World's usually like a top contender, if not rogue in some fashion.
Yeah, it's always terrifying, and drag down always catches you off guard. You know that there's a possibility of them running it, and it doesn't matter if you're preparing for it or not. Like it's going to disrupt your hand. It's basically the same as like playing Pokemon and getting hit by the Iono. It sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks to have it happen to you.
It's by far one of like the best, like it's like the only card that I know of in hat format that allows you to gain hand knowledge, because nobody's playing a Pointer or the Red Lotus regardless, because it's legal, but it's not really a card that you need to play.
No. But yeah, like Vanity's Emptiness, like in terms of floodgates for this format, I think this one's just kind of mid. This card got better past this format. Like Vanity's Emptiness was significantly more relevant by the time we got to New Challengers. During New Challengers format, this card became a problem because Clyfort was the thing.
The pendulum mechanic, like cards not go into the graveyard, so Vanities doesn't go get destroyed and everything like that. That being said, there are a few decks in this format that can absolutely bypass Vanities for longer periods than needed.
Yeah, but I like this deck. Like, I honestly hope that this archetype gets more support to bring it up to like modern standard. It doesn't have to be meta, just let it be playable. Like, I think Sylvans are neat.
These little sprouts walked so Plant Link could run.
Absolutely true. I think Peacekeeper is an underrated card. In my other build, I ran multiple Peacekeeper because like it was so important. I also ran like 1-for-1, which I couldn't in this version of the deck. But like it was crazy. If I can reverse engineer that deck, I'm gonna like DM you immediately.
Please
because
do.
like I was on some sauce. I have to actually ask my friends back at locals if they remember. Because like and it is a long time ago, but like there's one person in particular, a friend of mine who also streams. I played that match against him, and it was like finals, I think, and got the win. So if anyone would remember, it would be him. Because we were both laughing about it.
That's so crazy. I love stories like those, man.
But yeah, no, everything else here is pretty like straightforward. All right, going on to the next one. Let's see. I did Hieratic next. This is the one I'm least familiar with, and honestly, it's just like I understand why people like this, but like it's just not my style. And it just felt clunky a lot of the time. I feel like this is a deck that's better in hindsight. Well, better back then than it is looking through the lens of hindsight. Um,
It's
I feel
kind of
like
weird.
there's much better options. This is still a really cool deck. I think Heretics are awesome, but I
Yeah.
just feel like compared to the power level of other decks right now, because like you look when you're looking at past formats, you look at things differently, right? You're not looking so much for like leaving the stronger board presence. You're looking for setting up a combo,
Mhm.
and that's like a huge difference.
Yeah.
So if you're able to combo as fast as possible, you're going to win.
Yeah.
And that's why even in GOAT format, why people are doing like TD Chaos is like the best deck because you're turboing stuff out. And now Reasoning Gate in GOAT format because you're
Mhm.
just turboing stuff out. And those are the best decks in GOAT format right now. Um, along with like Earth Aggro, which is more of a recent discovery. But yeah,
Ooh, I actually didn't even know that.
yeah.
My goodness. Yeah, I was always I remember Hieratic Ruler back. Do you remember when ARGCS was a thing and this deck took down that and everybody was saying that the format was over. This was tier 0.
God, I first off, ARG was never real, and nobody should have ever treated it like it was real. Uh, because like, hey, we make our own imaginary ban list. Okay, cool. This
I mean,
doesn't matter.
to be the fairest of fair, that didn't never came into play until Necros though. But regardless,
They
yeah.
that true, but the match fixing was from the very start.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true.
So if you're compromising the competitive integrity of an event and also doing something that Konami does you specifically not to do, um, play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Yeah. For those that don't know what we're talking about, look up online the ARG Championship Series and like all the stuff surrounding it. It is a very interesting read in Yu-Gi-Oh's history.
Yeah, I
It's a
I
lot
have
of
a personal history with people involved in that company, and I am not fond of them.
yeah. We won't air the dirty laundry here. It's not really the place for it. But if you
Nah.
are interested in it, I do recommend that you look it up though, because it is a fascinating tale. Let me tell you.
Oh God, yeah, yeah, it is.
With
Okay,
now,
but
one question about the Hieratic Ruler version of this deck, because I have seen people utilize it. What would you say about utilizing the Blue Eyes engine of Blue Eyes and Whitestone of Legend? I know that is more suited to the Mythic Ruler build that utilizes Mythic Tree and Mythic Earth, but do you think that would change anything for Hieratic build?
I think it would just make it brickier. To be honest, you need to do Mythic for that for it to like have like the most impact.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because you're already struggling with like cards like Labradite and Flamvel as like potential bricks, and cards of consonance. If you don't open up the thing to discard, it's also a brick.
Yeah.
So it's just you have 4 targets for 3 cards, and each of these in hand is a brick. So you're just kind of like stuck between a rock and a hard place, and adding Blue Eyes to the equation doesn't particularly help.
Fair enough.
Like I honestly, I'm probably gonna give Mythic Rulers a try because that deck's interesting.
That one has so I've always viewed Hieratic Ruler as the more linear build between the 3 Dragon Ruler variants that exist in hat format, between this one, Lightsworn Ruler, and Mythic Ruler. Mythic Ruler, I think, has the most diverse lanes that you can go into depending on how you draw. Lightsworn is all dependent on the mills, and so that one's a bit more gamble heavy.
yeah.
So that's just my observation. I mean, when I did an entire analysis video going through the entirety of like competitive Dragon Ruler history, so I still have all of the freaking top tier deck lists like fresh in my mind thinking about it, and I'm just going through everything and I'm like, oh, so much. So many dragons. Is this what it feels like to be Trish?
Oh God. And then finally was the Middle Tree deck, which honestly it's only like a couple cards off from what I had built for my ex. Mainly it's just the sideboard that's different. Like siding Maxis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty much everything else here is the same. I don't think we were running pudding cess though. I think we were maxing out on gelato.
Yeah. It's not like modern model Shay where you can justify running only 1 or 2 gelato. You kind of do need max amount. Very much so.
Yeah.
But
yeah, no,
still overall very solid build. Like honestly, when I was starting out with model Shay, like minus the Angeli and minus the Hoot Cake, just because the deck started in 2012 and we didn't have access to those cards then. This was almost like what I started out with and how I was like building it up over time. This puts a big smile on my face. Like I feel happy looking at this.
Yeah, that's totally fair. Yeah, I'm gonna probably rebuild this, even though I've got mixed emotions to it. It's still a fun deck. So right now I'm working on like a hat box, right? Because I just finished my Edison box. I ordered all the stuff for Frog Monarch.
Ooh.
Yeah, so my hat. So I have a Lightsworn box, which has Lightsworn decks for all formats, which is Edison, Tengu, Hat, and Current advanced format. And then I have Goat box, which has Thunder Dragon Chaos, Reasoning Gate Turbo, Horus, and Gravekeepers. I know 2 of those go counter to my entire philosophy of game design, but I started off with Horus back in the day, around Soul of the Duelist. So I've got a soft spot for it, and I like Egyptian mythology, so there.
To be the fairest to fair, I will defend Horus. Horus is a goated boss monster back in the day.
Oh my god, yeah, it is.
He just looks cool. He just looks amazing.
Yeah. Then for Edison, I've got Black Wings, Machina Gadget, Quick Draw Dandy, and I just finished Frog Monarch. Stuff's gonna be coming in the mail. Next up, I'm gonna do Hat. I'm gonna do Tengu last because like I want to make sure I like what I'm building.
Oh yeah, you don't want to like spend anything like you're not gonna like enjoy. I get it.
Yeah. So for Hat, like right now, it's definitely Spellbooks because I played it back then. Sylvan's because I played it back then. Medolce because kind of played it back then. So it's really just the last choice that I'm like teetering around on. It's like I thought it was going to be Heretic Ruler, but like I'm really not feeling it. So that means it's either going to be like Dark World, or I hated playing against this deck, but maybe I'll have fun playing it, and that's Merlantian.
Oh yeah, Mermail Atlantean. Yeah. I will say, another deck that I was planning on potentially bringing, but I didn't end up doing, was the Machina Gadget Trap Tricks list from Top 8 of Worlds.
Oh my god, yeah.
That deck, I look at that deck and I find it so cool. Then again, I've always loved the gadgets, so I've got a soft spot for those boys.
Gadgets are based. No argument here. But yeah, no, this is I think the build prior to this one, when it was like on lances and stuff, was using stuff like Smashing Grounds.
Okay.
Because like we only had like the one dark hole, so it's like Smashing and Book were like a good way of like outing like a problematic card on board and then going in. But yeah.
Yeah. Completely understandable. Yeah, the 4 decks that I usually rotated around back in the day for Hat was Modolche and Infernity were my top 2. Harpy, which both me and my friend, like a friend of mine that I was attending tournaments with at the time, went in on together because... So here's the funny story. Going into a regional in 2013, the same weekend that Lord of the Tachyon Galaxy released, we went in together on a box of Lord of the Tachyon Galaxy. We pulled the Draco sack.
Oh my god.
My friend immediately sold it and got because at the time upon release, Draco Sacks were going somewhere between 200 to 300, and he got max value on it, and so we ended up getting another like half case almost of Lord of the Tachyon Galaxy.
That must have been like literally like pre-release weekend, because when it was released, before that national, I went into the shop and picked it up for 130, and then as soon as the national was over, I couldn't even move it for 60.
Yeah, it was legitimately release weekend that had happened, because the price was still like up in like the pre-release stuff, just because it was release weekend. There was regionals all around. People were trying to get their hands on it still in order to play the new stuff. So we were able to turn it, and we were able to get all of like the Harpy stuff, and so we were able to build Harpy ladies for fun, even though we weren't able to pull another Draco Sack, and I'm like, I kind of wanted to keep the Draco Sack in order to utilize it for something, but he's like, no, it's a better value for this. And honestly, he was kind of in the right. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, no, you just wait until after nationals, and then it's dirt cheap.
That is true. Thunder Patrol Dragon Maid, would you build one of those decks? Well, this format, we're taking a look. This is a 2014 format. This is a 2014 hat format we're taking a look at. I still kind of want to have one. Oh yeah, Draco Sack has like one of the coolest like card designs from back in the day. I love that art so much. Oh,
what should I remove from this list for the double summons, do you think?
So
I'm thinking the bribes probably, but like what else? The Palooza?
So I will be completely honest with you. I think you only need one Madolche ticket.
Really?
You never want to run more than one ticket, because if you end up drawing into both of them, they are dead draws.
That's true. That's absolutely true, yeah.
So hold on, let me bring up my list really quick, just so I can show you like my brain, my deck building theory. So give me a quick second. So the way that I have things, I have 2 copies of Chateau, 1 copy of Ticket, and then I have Palooza in 1 copy of Palooza in the side deck, just because I'm running more of a turbo version of this. The reason why it is better to run multiple copies of Chateau is because you can just activate a copy of Chateau and then put another copy of Chateau over it in order to send it to the graveyard. Boom, you have instant material to use for Queen Tiramisu's shuffle effect, right?
Right.
You can't really do that with Ticket. Ticket is a card that you want to search from deck off of the effect of Messengelato. If you view Ticket more in the terms of a soft Garnet, it will help you help deck building philosophy a bit. How about Cosmo?
Is Herald of the Orange Light valid in 2014? Yeah, I mean, it's at 3. Like, people use it in Edison.
It is at 3, but in this format specifically, you can't use it. Like, it is not optimal to use it. There's not really a fairy deck that can actually take advantage of it. And Madolche specifically, you don't have access to cards like Glass Souffle and the like in order to be able to recycle hand traps and stuff back to the hand. Like, this was Wild West days for Madolche. And I was the only person in like my city and everything like that to really focus on this deck as like my primary baby.
Totally fair.
Yeah. Yeah, I know Herald of Orange Light is great in Madolche, like in modern day, just because of like all the tools that we have. But if you're not familiar with like the card pool from specific years, it is hard to kind of put it into context. Cosmos or BA or Blackwing. Blackwing you can play in this format. Burning Abyss is not released in Hat specifically. We're a couple months out from that.
Yeah, it's literally a month and a couple weeks later.
Yeah, and then Cosmo is not until
the following year, like 2016, because like it wasn't a real deck until 2016.
Yeah, and that's when you have the 2016 NAWCQ format, which several people do say that they like, and I would actually be up to trying that. I'm not gonna lie. But this is now. Do we want to do one more? Or do we want to call it?
It's up to you. Right now, I'm just trying to figure out like what to put is like the last card in here. Because like I'm not sold on 3 double summon, but I think 2 would be good.
2 would be absolutely fine. The only reason why I am justifying running 3 is because I'm also running Summoner Monk.
Yeah, that's totally fair. Okay, so if I do that, then I could hypothetically just run bribes again as like a going first option,
Potentially,
or
yeah.
I could main seize. That's probably a smarter call.
Yeah, you want to. The reason why I suggest maining Seize is because that is the only hand trap that you can pitch willy-nilly, just in case you open up Hoot Cake. Because then you have instant fodder in order to banish from graveyard.
Yeah, okay. Okay, and then do I max out on Mew? Yep. Is two enough from you, Fuely?
2 or 3, I would say.
Like the teched pudding sauce did come up in random instances, but like a lot of the time it's just a brick for the pudding sauce.
I would view pudding sauce more as like a side deck option. That's my personal take. Because pudding cess's like destruction effect actually does come in handy. You were absolutely correct on the mark on that. Like I use it to specific effects in Modern for that specific reason.
Okay. Then yeah, I'll set it like this and just figure things out as we go. But yeah, no, if you wanna do a run back here, let me adjust this real quick.
Yeah. Do you want to do the Dolce mirror just to like test things out?
Could do that.
Yeah.
Oh,
how do I make the My Dolce synchros? TG Striker. It is an Earth synchro tuner that we can use with either our level 3 monsters to go into Nat Beast or any of the level 4 Earths, not Summoner Monk, to go into Archeon. They're just cheeky little options that I have on hand just in case. Oh, do you need the code again?
It should still be there. I'm just modifying real quick. Okay.
Oh yeah, take your time, take your time.
Online. I'm gonna have to order more monster reincarnations. I've already got so many copies, I have to get more. Okay.
Insert the more quote from Star Wars Episode 8. More.
More!
More! Oh, man. I'll go first.
This is a going first hand of all time.
I agree. Me too. I'm right there with you, buddy. Oh my gosh.
Monsters, what are those?
All right.
Yep.
So Monk.
Yeah.
We're gonna pitch MST or Angeli. We'll activate Angeli. Now this is a little bit of a rough scenario because I do not have an easy way of getting into what I would like, but Messenger Lotto. We're gonna get
it does net you the ticket, yeah.
Does net me the ticket.
Pain. Okay.
I keep forgetting
Okay, so
that.
that's
I keep forgetting
that's
that Omega's
attainable.
on the Contanon mode.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yep. Hop off, man.
Bird.
Herb.
Bird.
I love Who Cakes so much.
Honestly, in this situation, I probably want the chateau.
Completely understandable. Oh my gosh, so many back row. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. All right.
Not the opening I was hoping for.
All right, we're gonna do something a little bit funny here. We're gonna activate on my own Messenger Lotto. This will trigger Ticket, and we'll get Mule Flea.
Okay.
So we'll normal summon Mew. Mew effect. Special summon Messenger Lotto from hand.
Yep.
And this trigger Messenger Lotto. Let's get another Chateau. We'll activate my own Chateau. We'll go into Levier. Yes, Alice. Madolche. Me and Eldius have entered into a pack agreement in order to make the chat die of diabetes.
Ah, wiretap. Damn it.
I mean, to be fair, you were right in calling that out. All right, we'll send Muleflea.
I'm in danger.
Okay, thank God I did summon my own. All right, now
game.
no.
Can I? Thank you. Thank you.
That's on me. Thank God for Lance. No! Clever girl. Right, well, we're gonna do this.
Okay. Uh-oh.
Yeah, you see where I'm going with this. Oh!
Baited. Baited.
I had to start chewing through your back row regardless. Either you had it or you didn't.
Yeah,
It's just the game that we play. You top deck Angeli. God, Eldius, how do you get so good? How do you do it?
Built different. Activate pheasant. No. Okay. We're gonna do this because there can only be one. But we're saving that.
Oh, we're not going into ticket?
No.
Ooh, okay.
Yep.
Completely understandable. Okay, so now we're activating Chateau. All right.
Did I use that effect this turn? Yeah, I did. Okay. Battle phase. Swing bada bada.
All right. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I do think the Hoot Cake is going to get shuffled back into the deck. Because you special summoned it off of Angeli, I think.
Yep.
Mageline, my love, you came too late. Oh, hello. Okay. Can that really get me anywhere? Striker. Oh dear, you have a response. Oh!
Special summon at your own peril.
That's fine. I mean, you don't have material in graveyard in order to bounce back, so.
But I have a funny little cat.
That is enough for game. Son of a. I mean, to be fair, I had to play into the back row. Like, I had no choice.
Yeah, you had no choice.
I'm kind of shocked that you didn't go for the ticket in order to keep up play.
No, I just wanted the additional boost and to reset deck so I can draw into more starters.
That is true. I mean, well, with Ticket on field, you instead of like special summoning, you can choose to add it to hand instead. Like, it gives you the option to choose.
True.
Guess we'll opt out. Oh, well, if it isn't missed.
Hey, missed.
What's going on, Raiders? How ya doing? How much time have we got? I'm just giving the Mist a shout out really quick.
60 seconds to decide.
Okay, I got time. But welcome, Raiders. My name is Coffee Ninja Ryu. I am your resident Coffee Ninja by day, actor, gamer, streamer by night. I am joined by the one and only Eldius. We are doing some hat format tonight. We just got done with the main showcase, and now I am helping Eldius out with some Madolche stuff. Oof.
This is a hand of all time.
Indeed. Go ahead. Thank you for the Mist raid. I appreciate it. Please go check out Mist. Mist won our Holiday Edison tournament this past December. By the way, Mist, how's the mat treating you? How's the mat treating you?
Because I can.
You know what? Fair enough. I come with a message.
Oh, I love mail days. They usually bring cards.
That's true. I am a rider of the Kingdom of Diabetes. I bring I bring news from the Marshmallow Marsh.
Oh God.
Why am I like this?
We cope with humor.
I mean, you're not wrong.
What is this hand?
How have the half format games been for the both of you? They've been pretty fun. Honestly, I think the play of the night is you bringing out triple High Priestess though.
Yeah, it was. Oh, I'm waiting on you.
Oh shit, sorry. I always keep forgetting that. I always keep forgetting that when it comes to Omega.
Are we about to witness just some Unga Bunga Yu-Gi-Oh?
I mean, let's up the clock a little. I mean, we gotta up the clock a little bit. Go, bear news from the Queendom.
Oh, please, let me just draw a starter!
You and me both, dude. We're both suffering from the same problem.
Let me draw Maggie. Let me draw Maggie. Let me draw Maggie. Dang it.
Maggie or Angeli, honestly.
And now we have a standoff.
So, which one of us is vanilla and which of the other is chocolate? Or which of us is strawberry?
Oh God, too many choices. Too many choices.
I choose pistachio.
Bet. Attack!
I don't know if that was the right option. How? They were in the same column. My brother, they were in the same column.
That's unreal.
Maggie!
Uh-oh, I'm in danger.
Indeed. Mew Mew.
Give me a card. Give me a card.
Only if I get a
Not
card
a
in
useful
return.
card.
On the off chance he has Mirror Force. On the off chance. Because I do not remember if he does have Mirror Force in this.
Oh my god, why didn't you just go into Tiara? Why didn't you just go into Tiara? Why didn't you just go into Tiara?
Because I have nothing in graveyard to shuffle back. It would not be an optimal play.
Yeah, no, you got it. You got it.
Oh god, we're in game 3.
Yeah, we are indeed in game 3.
Oh man. I always find the Madolche mirror in hat format to be a lot more engaging than like modern, just because of like Chateau plays a big part in it. Whoever has control of Chateau basically has higher control of the game.
Yeah. I don't want to do this. We could do that. You run those though. I just side those out for. We could. We swap these out, but this turns off everything. This is a hard choice.
You got 60 seconds to make it.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
hope this is the right call.
I will say, this has been a fun night. I'm so happy that we've played hat tonight. I haven't played this format in so long. It's so nice to go back to this.
It is pretty nice. Okay, so
Oh my God. Am I never gonna show off the werewolf interaction? I'm so upset. Oh, you've gotten the full combo. Let's go.
do I Levier here? Yeah, Levier is probably better.
Yeah, this is always like the weird thing about this line is just because you have two diverging paths, is that you can either recycle back the Angeli with the Levier, or you can go for the Messengelato.
Question is, what is the play here? Knowing the matchup, we don't just go into Tiara. Tiara on turn 1 is just kind of weird champ.
So I'll completely just be forthright with you. Abyss Dweller is a problem for this deck because it shuts off all of the Madolche destruction effects in graveyard.
That's fair.
Sometimes when in doubt, you have to go for one of the safer bets, especially if you have the back row to back it up and protect it. All right, we'll go for Angeli. Doesn't feel good that I got a Lance.
This is fun.
Gotta get Angeli. My pain. The hard draw of ticket.
No, I searched that. I didn't activate it last turn.
I completely forgot about that, actually. I'm not gonna lie. going to get the shuffle back because of Abyss Dweller. Completely understandable.
How is this card still legal?
Honestly, your guess is as good as mine. This is awkward. Understandable.
Okay. I just need the top deck of level 4.
That is true. Yes, Chase. Hat format.
Well,
Oh,
that'd
no.
do it.
Yeah. Oh! Not like this.
Yeah, these things happen. Do I want to do this to get another gelato? I have one. No, there's only 2 gelato in here. All right, I'm not gonna do that play. So, doot. Yep. And Tiramisu.
Yeah.
Bop. Bop. Bop.
Yeah, anytime I teach people this this specific deck, I always have to remind them that ticket is mandatory on activation. Yeah, you got it. My face down was wiretap.
Oh, okay. My face down was Blackhorn of Heaven.
Oh man.
GG.
GG's. Ah. I lost in the Madolche mirror. Warwolf, where were you all night, my dude?
Dude, I know, you didn't see him once.
Like, I saw Striker like 3 times. That's insane. Ay, ay, ay. Well, honestly, that was a fun night.
It was. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for agreeing to come on and play some hat format, Eldius. It has been a pleasure. For those, if you are not already following this guy, there's the shout out. Please make sure that you do so. He is the Eldius. He is the one who mills. Honest, we need to. I need to figure out a way to edit that to just get the Bill Nye the science guy theme in the background and then just dub over it.
Dude, I swear to God, like if we can get you and Dan and Maple and maybe even Eros to do it, because we need that baritone in the back, so that way it's just kind of like, oh, and then like somebody to do like the slow talking part, and then the finish. Yeah, there we go.
Eldar, the science guy.
Lightsworn best deck.
But chat room, thank you so much for coming on by and hanging out tonight for another amazing edition of Yu-Gi-Oh! Time Wizards. I greatly appreciate it. Who are we raiding into? Let's see. Sans Sally's on. Trying to keep it all in Yu-Gi-Oh! I think Sand's the only one doing Master Duel right now, so we're gonna go right into Sand.
Hell yeah. Lobster.
Alrighty. So everyone, we're gonna go ahead and right into Sand Sally. It looks like what are I don't know what they doing. In the meantime, Eldius, what are you doing? What other stuff you got coming up?
Well, I'm currently doing a blitz to master rank with my mod Mist, and I have had some bad luck. He's already in Master 5. I am at like what, D4, D3, about there, about somewhere about thereabouts.
Yeah.
I still have a ways to go. My goal is to get to Master 3. He needs to get to Master 1 because like me, he doesn't have to play in the cursed time slot all the time.
Yeah,
because the moment it hits 12 p.m. EST, you're mostly seeing Japanese users on stun. And I know this because we have spreadsheets, and it's always the Japanese players that are on the stun nonsense every single time.
Who creates the stun sheets? The DDD community? I'm sorry, that was a joke. I love you, DDD users. Don't worry, you're good. But
it's fine. It's not like they're the Ghost Trick community or anything.
Hey, I respect the Ghost Trick community primarily because it gave me Trick or Treat with Ghost Trick Madolche and Fire Water format. That deck's cool.
That deck is pretty cool.
I give them a pass for that. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Eldius, thank you for being an amazing co-host. Your knowledge of Yu-Gi-Oh! History and just overall just craziness has been absolute delight. Thank you so much again, man. Happy to have you.
Anytime.
And let's go ahead and raid Sand Sally. For all of you wonderful people, my name is Ryu. This has been Eldius. Thank you for stopping by the Coffee Ninja Coffee House, and I will see y'all next time. Good night, everyone.
Johnny.